overall initial reaction from the duel?
It's a good win. I thought we did a pretty good job of when matches got tight, finding ways to win. I thought we wrestled a little tight in some of our matches, it kind of showed a little bit. When things maybe didn't go like we wanted. I thought maybe we tightened up a little bit and didn't respond. But overall, I think in Bedlam, I always say, you always expect the unexpected, and hopefully that goes your way. And I think for the most part, it did go our way. So wasn't our best duel, but I kind of like the scenarios that played out throughout the match. I think it's going to benefit us more than anything. But good win. I'd say 57 was a good match for us to separate the score into third. 74 a little bit. I like that Joe was in on a double leg with the lead late in the match. He just didn't feel the row through. He needed to release his double leg and take the points. But you don't very often. That's what you want to see. You want to see people with leads and trying to extend them. In the long run, that's going to benefit you. And maybe every now and then you make a mistake. But for him, I thought it was a good effort and good match, and he was in position to separate the score and didn't react properly.
Learning matches would that be for Dakota, giving up 2 takedowns in the third period to lose it and ultimately just lose by 1?
Yeah. Just again, maybe with Dakota, just focusing on, wrestling a little bit more relaxed. I just think that he's kind of balled up a little bit out there, and he's not focusing on. He's focusing more on the outcome than he is just performing a little bit. That's what it appears to me. Just because it seems like when you make mistakes in the match and you're not recovering from them, you're concerned about the outcome rather than just performing. So. He lost 10-9, and it seemed like he stumbled around a little bit. But, I think it's the time this season that he stopped griping and he start encouraging, and that's kind of where we're at now. Late in the season, got 1 dual meet left with Big 12 and NCAA championships coming up. I think it's really time to reinforce what they are doing well, and I thought, for the most part, we had to kind of fight to get this victory. Even though it was a lopsided score, Nick's pin, where it didn't look good, it seemed like something was off, and all of a sudden, he's in a cradle and he's pinning him, and he held the cradle to get the pin. So, those are good things, and those are things that we can go forward with.
With Travis, it's been a case of trying to see what you can get from him, different styles of performance, and obviously coming out today with a tech fall by shooting in, getting those points. So how big was that, seeing that from him?
Well, there's a level of expectation that you hope they have when they look and see what they're wrestling, who they're wrestling. This is a kid they brought in late, hadn't had a real good record, and we don't need to tell you what we hope to see you do, So it's just good to see him go out and perform, and push the limit and get the extra takedowns and picked up a set of back points. Just a lot of points on the board, and that's what we were hoping for, and that's what he did, what he gave us.
What do you think of Breeze's performance? Obviously got in some trouble early, but was able to fight back.
Don't get up and go get a Coke, because you may miss something with that kid. A couple of them you can go get a Coke and probably a candy bar, a little bit, a couple matches going 0-0 in the first. You don't really want to see that, but you get behind by 6 and you're alert. You whip him over and you hold him on your back. Kind of silly, the guys. If you touch outside of the mat. They stop the clock for danger purposes, right? the rule needs, we need to go back in and we need to adjust that rule. You know, it should be only on our feet in danger situations. You got an edge of the mat that falls off, right? You know, you don't want somebody to step off that mat and, you know, get driven out and get their ankle twist. I get that part, you know. But when you're on your back and somebody's reaching over and touches the, you know, which is smart, you know. But that rule needs to be adjusted, you know. I mean, that's not a time to stop the match, right? You know, and there was a couple of stoppages because of that. I'm going to extend the mat next year. I'm going to extend it on out. So there's not going to be, you know, unless you're big and tall and long, you're not going, you know, either team is going to be hard to reach over there, you know. So they know it, you know, and it's tactics as well. So we probably need to take some of those tactics away and maybe adjust it to what scenarios should exist when we blow the whistle when somebody steps off that mat.
Matches that you could have gone to concessions for a while. Anthony, talk about though him, you know, fighting through until that third period. I know you want to see more scoring from him early, but to come away with a 4-0 win in a very highly contested match. You
know, again, I thought we wrestled a little tight at that weight. I thought we wrestled tight at 97. I thought we wrestled a little tight at 25. I thought we wrestled tight for a period and a half at 49, you know. So Bedlam sometimes it's just a different match that you hope that, you know, everybody's gung-ho and ready to go, you know, score points and expect the unexpected. And if it happens, something negative happens in my match, being able to quickly recover. I don't think we got all that today, but I think that the experience and for them to recognize, you know, man, if I do this down the road, it's not going to be good, you know. So just kind of reinforces, you know, where you got to go and what you got to do.
You got bonus points at heavyweight. When you talk about expect the unexpected, was that something you thought could happen today?
Yeah. No. Excuse me. No, you know, and I looked at, you know, maybe using someone different than Harris, but when I really felt like we needed the win, where we were losing 2 of the first 3 matches, I went with him. You know, I was hoping that we might be 3-0 after the first 3 matches, and you maybe got to see someone different. But just for confidence, for my confidence, I felt like the guy we needed to go with was Harris, you know, and it was an important win. It was really nice to see him get a major, you know. I think it shows that, you know, he's fighting for the job, you know. You know, he wants to wrestle in Big 12, and he wants to be the man. So, you know, it's a good effort on his part.
Usually he's wrestling a lot bigger guys, but today, like, he might have been actually the bigger wrestler. Do you think that might have helped him a little bit?
Well, you know, 218 pounds. I think he had got excited to see somebody that might be 5 pounds bigger than him or 10. You know, he probably 230. I think kid weighed in at. Yeah. You know, kind of evens it up a little bit and gives him an opportunity. Got under the legs, and you saw, you know, the difference between heavyweights and bigger kids and kids that are weighing close to his weight. You know, he's able to lift them up, create the angle, so he scored on about 4 single legs. You know, you get 250 pounds laying on you and 260, those guys get big.
How do you go about making that decision at heavyweight? You've obviously got one duel left. Do you just rank them before Big 12s, or how do you go about that?
Oh, I think I let him fight it out for sure. You know, I don't see there's any disadvantage. We might have another weight where we're going to have to fight it out. I think it does them both, you know, everybody good. The guy that comes out of it, it gives them opportunity to get some more matches under belt, under stress and things like that. So, yeah, no, it's not over. People deserve opportunities, and especially at that weight.
Point deductions after 184, does that have to do with, you know, that more intense Bedlam rivalry in that environment?
Say that once again.
Point deductions after the 184 match for unsportsmanlike conduct, does that result in a more intense Bedlam rivalry than what you get the rest of the season?
You know, sometimes, I mean, I get it. You got to have rules that protects any just outright, you know, throwing hands, you know. the right call was made. We taunted him a little bit following his win, you know, and he retaliated from it, and it ended up costing both teams a point, you know. You taunt someone when you wrestle the match you wanted. You don't taunt someone when you didn't wrestle the match you wanted. Right? Now, you don't taunt, period, but I mean, it makes it a lot easier for me to understand it when you just whip someone, you know. So we wasn't expecting a 4-0 close match at that weight. So, you know, get up, shake hands, and, you know, go run some sprints or something. You know, you don't need to be taunting anyone.
Anything else for Coach?
Where do things stand with Caden Gefeller right now? Not to take anything away
Gefeller?
from, yeah, not to
Out
take
for
anything.
the season. Yeah, needs surgery. Mhm. Yeah, so, you know, just not in a good position. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Questions for the wrestlers?
We've seen some pretty big celebrations from you over the years after some pins. This seemed more a little bit of gratitude, just sort of acknowledging the fan base.
Yeah, definitely for the fan base. That's for sure. Not the performance. That's that one wasn't for that one. Yeah.
Consider doing the same thing that Chandler did a year ago after getting a pin in his last one, bowing to the crowd?
That's pretty good. I mean, I don't really think about things like that. I just spur of the moment, I guess, and just whatever happens, happens. Yeah.
I know the match didn't go the way you wanted to begin with, but you also called your shot on Tuesday. I mean, when we talked about the last time in GIA on the riser, you got a pin, and you said, let's do it again. And you did that again. How does that feeling, knowing that you finished your career at GIA with a pin in front of your parents and whatnot, and that's going to be the lasting memory of people for them here of you here in GIA?
It's I guess it's pretty cool. You know, I would definitely take all that with a dominant performance over that, personally. But it's not the way it went. So I guess that's pretty cool too. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, and I honestly, matches like that I just kind of leave behind me, because I got big goals, you know, and they're right there. You know, they're on the doorstep. So it's coming up next week, and a week out, and 2 weeks after that, and a week after that one. So that's what I'm focused on. So
Even in your 5th year here and down to your last month, how can you learn from that type of match?
yeah, of course, like Coach said, always expect the unexpected, especially in Bedlam. Like, he always preaches it to us, you know. And fortunate enough for me, this was the first time where I had to expect the unexpected in a Bedlam match like that. So this was that one time, and I got better today. You know, I think it's gonna prepare me for the weeks. You know, I think that there's not one day that goes by where you can improve. So I think this is definitely gonna get me better. Yeah.
I don't know how much of Reese's match you actually even got to see, but just talk about him as a wrestler. I mean, Coach made the joke about don't go get a Coke during his match, but it's kind of been a little bit like that for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's he's explosive. He's really, really good when he wants to be. You better watch out, you know, because he's one of those guys where you lock it up with him, something's gonna happen. So, yeah, I personally I see a huge upside for Reese, and I'm excited for him for his career to unfold. Definitely, I see a lot of good things in the future for him.
Usually, you're not seeing him or preparing and having a match going on right before you, and I'm sure you didn't get to see much. But what was it like getting ready to go out on the mat and seeing Austin Harris with everything that he's gone through the last couple years to come away with a major decision in this Bedlam duel for you guys?
Yeah, huge. That's definitely huge. I'm personally I'm really happy for him. You know, just the battle of the heavyweight spot. You know, different looks, different people who could go out there and for him to, go out there and get the major for us at that point in time, in the duel. That's big, So I think he stepped up and he met the pressure. So I'm really excited for him. I'm proud of him. Yeah.
You both talk about going to Iowa next week. Last time for you, and unless I'm mistaken, first time for you. So kind of both ends of the spectrum for you guys. You both talk about it.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely really, really excited, and it's gonna be, fireworks. It's gonna be packed. That Iowa crowd, man, rematch, just a lot of different things up and down the lineup. But man, I'm excited for our team to go there, experience that, especially before Big 12s, NCAAs, just like this. You get a big crowd and you get that feel, so it just prepares you even more. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm ready to go. I'm really ready to go. Yeah.
I'm personally excited for the Iowa duel just because I get to wrestle the number 2 guy in the country. He's a guy I've never felt before. He's never felt me, and so it's gonna be an interesting match, and it's gonna be a good gauge to see where I'm at on this year. I've been winning a lot lately, but he's gonna be a lot more quality opponent than anybody I've wrestled this year. So it's gonna be a really, really good match, and if it's anything like the Iowa duel last year, it's gonna be some fireworks.
I think you probably don't have a lot of fans up there, especially after last year's duel. Yeah,
I don't think I have. Hopefully one, maybe. From Iowa. I don't really care. I got Oklahoma State behind my back, so we'll be all right.
Travis, your performance tonight. First off, how unique was that? And weird for that you close out the duel instead of being there in the middle of it.
Yeah, that was weird. Last match it was a long duel. There was a lot of intermissions, so it just was a lot of waiting around. Honestly, it was cool to be the last match and go out with a bang, but at the same time it was just like kind of hurry up, let's go wrestle, let's go get it done, So it was different, but and there for a second, at the beginning of the duel, I thought, well, maybe this duel's gonna come down to my match. I don't know. So the way it was going there for a little bit, but no, it was good, and it was. I'm glad I went out and got a tech fall and put on a good performance.
What'd you do maybe differently or whatever to try to pace yourself? Because ultimately, about 2 hours that you're sitting around waiting before you got out there on the mat.
I rested. Honestly, I watched a couple matches. After the heavyweight match, I went back up in the wrestling room and I laid down for a couple matches, rested my eyes, just mentally prepared. And then when it's time to, round 141, 149, get up and get moving, get ready for your match. But everything before that was just basically mental preparation.
You mentioned that you've been winning a lot lately. What's been the key for you this season to get to the point you're at?
Wrestling loose. I have being more confident in my style. I think in the beginning of the season when I came out, I wasn't really necessarily confident in myself, and I wasn't confident when I was taking shots. I was very hesitant on everything, and I think that's really changed for me. And I'm not afraid to go get to my tie and attack and get to a shot. And so when you're not afraid to wrestle your style against anybody, any match, when you go out and let it loose, there's gonna be a lot of points scored. And if you look at my matches previously this season, early in the season, I had a lot of 1-point wins, and now those wins are going to 5-point wins, majors, tech falls, and so I think just the major key is being more confident in my style and knowing when I shoot, I'm going to get to the leg and I'm going to score. Just that type of confidence, that type of mentality has really helped.
How much has just experience throughout this year really helped with building your confidence?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Ever since the scuffle, I beat some couple top 10 guys at the scuffle, and that was like that was a great experience for me because it let me know that I can wrestle at this level. And like I said in the previous question, that was a big confidence booster. You know, after beating some guys like that, that made me realize that, okay, I'm experienced enough, I'm mature enough, I can wrestle here, and I can wrestle at this level.
I know throughout the season, coaches have been trying to kind of get different angles from you within the matches, whether it's, you know, seeing how you do riding, trying to turn guys and stuff like that. In one like this, where the final 2 periods they're wanting you to cut them and keep shooting, do you enjoy that a little bit more than just trying to work on you know, your riding on the top, or which do you kind of prefer?
It depends on the match, the way it's going, you know. But personally, I like wrestling on my feet. I've never been much of a pinner my whole career. Even in high school, I was more of a takedown guy. So I always love wrestling on my feet, being on my feet. That's where I'm most comfortable. Obviously, I'm also comfortable everywhere, but on my feet is just really what I prefer, for sure.
Nick, we talked about Iowa. Do you have any words of advice for him or Taco, guys who are going to be wrestling up there for the first time?
Yeah, just embrace it. Embrace the whole experience because, like you said, it comes to an end one day, but it's fun. So, yeah. Thank you, guys.